Greetings from the Erie Coast, this is Mad Shad. It's hammer time! In more ways than one. So, let me start the precipice by saying that while I'm making this video, while I have my wits about me, I know that I'm about to have another fucking episode, so the headache is here and it won't go away. So it's the same one. But I wanted to get this out because maybe I have this headache because I've been going down the rabbit hole. Oh yes, the rabbit hole. What's his name? David Wayne LaPape. David Wayne LaPape. This whole thing with Paul, being hammered. You look at all the things, right? You try to paint a picture. I'm not a trained in investigative methods by any means. Not professionally or anything. I never went to school or anything, but the first thing you do is you look at all the facts, the evidence, the data points, and then you paint a picture. And that picture changes constantly. It's a way of kind of gleaming the truth or the possible truth. And so this is what I'm looking at. Oh, my headache. But it glows. Right off the bat, it glows. What are the facts? What are the facts? The facts is that there was a guy that showed up at Paul's house at around 2 something in the morning. Yes, 2 something in the morning. And then Paul told David that he had to use the bathroom. So Paul went into the bathroom, made a secret phone call to 911, and which was very interesting. Said that the guy's name is David. He is a friend of the family. What? I mean, what kind of call for help is that? Paul then kept the phone on. The phone call to 911 didn't happen until 2:47, at which time the police showed up, shortly later, and to find David standing in his underwear. There was no evidence of any kind of, attack or anything of that nature. There's no evidence of foul play at that time. And then when the police showed up, David somehow flipped the script from being all Mr. Nice Guy to beating Paul in the head with a hammer. Paul went down. The police apprehended the suspect, obviously, and Paul went to the hospital, and David went to jail. That in itself, just that right there, is strange. I mean, if you just heard that part, you'd be like, what? What would you think at that point? Oh, well, I mean, regardless of who is who, obviously Paul is a big time big wig, and he's married to Nancy. Paul himself is a multi-millionaire, profiteering hedge fund investment fucking dude that makes millions off of the the murder that goes on in the Nasdaq and the New York Stock Exchange and all of that. He's a piece of shit, and he has been literally for quite some time being investigated by the FBI for all kinds of financial wrongdoings. But we all know that he won't be going anytime soon. And the son itself, he is quite the entrepreneur, stakeholder, if you will, a up and coming young global leader. But Paul is no stranger to vice and grift. He has been very, very promiscuous throughout his life. He gets hammered a lot. This ain't the first time he got hammered. Remember that he got pulled over by a DWI, months ago, right? He was literally just driving around drunk. That's what he likes to do. He likes to go to bars and hook up and get drunk and come back home all fucked up. In San Francisco. San Francisco is a very promiscuous kind of place. Very, really. I'm trying to keep the color tone a little muted here, if you know what I mean. But yeah, whatever you want, you can get in San Francisco. Whatever you want, at any time, usually at night. That's the way it works. And when I say it is a very promiscuous place, it's very gay, extremely gay. It appears that so is Paul. But hey, that's and the area that they live in. It's booty calls are not uncommon. The comings and goings of people in the middle of the night. That's something as old as time. Back in the 70s, it was called the backdoor man. It was a knock on the back door, and in came someone. There's been many songs written about it. Everyone from Rolling Stones to Led Zeppelin to everybody. Steve Tyler. Everybody's talked about the backdoor man, and that's either for male or female. So I'm not trying to paint a picture. This is what I see. This is what I see. I speculate upon. And I must say, this is clearly just my opinion. And I haven't even started to get into the whole other aspect of this thing. For one is the timing. The timing seems perfect. It appears that this is probably some type of botched gay op, or a gay op gone wrong, or it's actually they allowed it to happen to see where it went so that they could spin it and use it. Never let a crisis go to waste, right? Even if they have to create it, that's what they do. So, but what really grabbed me about all this, because you hear about this shit all the time. This kind of shit happens all the time. Really. It does. All over the world. So this is not the first time anything like this has ever happened. But a lot of the details, oftentimes enough, it's pretty self-explanatory. Oh, okay. This is a booty call going wrong. Usually it's little transferring of money, and then next thing you know, it's a little sexual romp, and then violence and robbery. Something of that nature. Violence ensues, and a lot of times it's because of embarrassment, guilt. But It just glows. Everything about this glows. The timing of it now, before all the the elections coming up and all that, it's perfect timing, huh? Oh yeah, and then of course Nancy, she's away. She's gone. She's like, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I mean, a woman's intuition. She's been knowing for quite some time. This is the same kind of setup Nancy and Paul with Bill and Hillary. Hillary well knew what Bill was up to, in his promiscuous behavior. And it's got to be the same with Nancy and Paul. I mean, Nancy, of course, has at her disposal all the resources that the DC Capitol Police can offer, and that's investigative as well. So, and the FBI and the CIA and the NSA, whatever she wants. Everything's been compromised and been weaponized against us. So they use that to their advantage, of course. But why this guy is standing in his underwear in some guy's house, and the guy, maybe it was over, and Paul was like, okay, bye. We've had our time together. Bye. Oh, you're not going to leave. Well, all right. Hold on. I got to go use the bathroom because you done blew my back out or something. And, so I'll be right back. And, granted, yeah, he's 82 years old, but hey, they make Viagra. Goes to the bathroom and makes a secret 911 call and leaves a very cryptid type of message. Not really a cry for help or anything, but very cryptid. And then leaves the phone on. Do you want the world to know that you're having a gay romp? Really? I mean, so everything about this close. And then when you start to look into, well, first and foremost, right off the bat, we know everything about this guy, or everything that they're telling us that they know. His name is David Wayne LaPape. He's from Canada. He lives in Berkeley. He's a conspiracy theorist and a nudist. Yeah. But I was kind of sparked by this. Usually I don't deep dive too much into all of this, but I was watching Pinball Preparedness, and he showed me the guy's home, and yeah, it's all doesn't matter, and of course the iconic flag of San Francisco, with the colorful rainbows. This guy has got a very colorful history. He's been an activist, a journalist. He's been to many other rallies and things of that nature, many protests, and he's got the camera and the setup and all that. He lived in a storage unit. He had a drug problem. He made hemp bracelets, and see, this is stuff that just kind of leaks out, just little things. Now, boom, you can go on Wikipedia and look this guy up. It's like, boom, here he is. Here's what we know. He's a bad dude. He's an MVE. The classic. They've already given everything. They took down his Facebook page. They took down all his social media. Because that's what they do. That's the narrative, right? They want to take away all the evidence, all the stuff that we can glean on our own, and paint the picture for us. So everything that they're going to say, you have to right off the bat go, yeah, this is bullshit. Yeah, even if it's the truth, they're just showing it to you. So they can do that with anyone and anything. That's what they do. So this guy, the patsy, David, the gay op gone wrong, the gay glowy gone wrong. That tells me that that's why when the police showed up, it prompted him. Like kind of like the Manchurian Candidate. If you want to go that far as to talk about some MK Ultra bullshit. But it's easier than that, of course. You don't have to dope somebody up and give them suggestive messages. You can literally just give them suggestive messages. And people start to plant seeds in their head and positive affirmation and all this, you know what I'm saying? I mean, influencing someone of a questionable mindset, questionable strong mind. It's kind of easy. We're all kind of susceptible to that. I mean, look at advertisement. How many times have you just passively been looking at some kind of advertisement, and throughout the course of your day you go, man, you know what? I really want some ice cream. Man, I really want a fucking hearty cheeseburger with bacon. Yeah, things like, wow, today I'd really enjoy a Coke right now. So we've all felt this influence that comes out. So it's nothing really new, and it's easier to influence people with fairly weak minds, fairly impressionable minds. An Air Force truck just drove by. Interesting. The airport. Well, it is going south, so yeah. I mean, the airport is way south of me here in Cleveland, but the Air Force. But anyway, let's carry on here. You're throwing everything at this guy. Everything. He's into everything. He's into everything that's wrong with our current world, which needs to be changed, because everything is a threat to democracy, to our democracy. Think about that word. He is a threat to our democracy. And you look at the perspective. They're saying it is their democracy, not our democracy. Yet we are a constitutional republic. So we're not a democracy by any means. No, a democracy has been tried many, many times and has failed. Only being held up by by force. A constitutional republic stands on its own morals. That's the idea here, is they have to destroy the family unit. They have to. This is their plan. They've done it many times before. Seriously, Stalin, Lenin. I mean, millions of people have died because of this. It's all been done before. And we, as the people of this constitutional republic, the majority of the people here are basically submissive slaves, sheeple, to go along, to get along, to be bombarded by all this misinformation, right? I mean, that's what we're facing is a plethora of misinformation. What I say is misinformation. What they say up on high is the truth, and the ministry of truth makes the truth. Right? So that's how it works. We've seen this played out many times before. And that's why they have to erase history, because they don't want us to know what the fuck they're doing. And they're starting with our children. Folks like me, old grizzled fuckers, and most of my generation have seen this before. Our forefathers told us about this. Like, hey, this is what they did. This is what you need to be on guard of. This is what you need to watch out for. Here are your marching orders. And being young, dumb, and full of piss and vinegar, we were like, yeah, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna go, do this thing. And we looked at it in glance, and we kept it moving. Right? Got a show to do. Got beer to drink. Got stuff. I've got mischievousness to do out there. So. Yeah, right. Yes, sir. Roger that. Okay. But now it's happening. Oh, fuck. Oh, man, I wish I would have took more notes. But that's what it was, That's what it was. So, Don't be misled. We see what is happening. We see how this is going to be used. any way that they figure out a way to spin it. It is unfortunate that a old man was beaten nearly to death with a hammer, or was he? Because they say he's going to make a full recovery. Literally days after he just got struck in the head repeatedly by a hammer. You can kill somebody easily with a hammer. You can survive. People have survived, head trauma. I've survived to have trauma. I still have a split. Where is it? Right. Yeah, I still have a split right in my forehead. You could probably see it from time to time. It goes right here. It goes all the way up in here. And I got another spot up here. And, it's all kinds of places. That's a brick. That's a baseball bat. A hammer. I've never been hit in the head with a hammer. I've took a nosedive out of a tree at 20 feet. That was interesting. Not fun. But yeah, you can survive head trauma. Yes. 82 years old with a cracked skull. That's a tough old bird. I mean, I my heart goes out to anyone that goes through that. And obviously, if he had a cracked skull, he's never going to be the same. But can we actually really believe that? Can we believe all this? All we can see is what we're told. And we have to question and ask ourselves, what we're being told, is it really the truth? And what is the modus operandi of said truth from the Ministry of Truth? And what they've done with this guy, what they've done with just about anybody else, even going all the way back to, you can Lee Harvey Oswald. I mean, they erase their past and then they make their own. They do. That's how they do it. And you can look in just about any of the active shooters, any of them. You can see the manipulation that happens. J6, same thing. The manipulation, the coercion, the inspiration. And then of course the gaslighting, and then of course the false flagging, and all that. All that being happening before, during, and after the event. What happens at the event doesn't really matter because the details can be changed. All that can be changed. Never mind the fact that the truth is, all the details can be changed after the fact to fit their narrative and to fit their agenda and their justification. So this is a lot bigger than just, what happened. It is. I mean, and it's a lot bigger because they're making it a lot bigger. But we see the truth. We see through the lies. We see through the deception. We're not stupid. We're not stupid by any means. And I think that we're going to see more of these things, these little incidents happening, and to try to spin that narrative. And timing is everything. Timing is everything. So I just wanted to throw this out there before my brain becomes scrambled eggs, which I just had with bacon and some toast and grape jam. Charity has also had her fair share. Yeah, licking her chops on the couch, all nice and content, right, Charity? Love you. Yeah, she's loving it. But this is how they can weaponize someone, right? This is how they can weaponize someone, get someone to do their bidding, and then whatever happens afterwards, they can turn it and spin it into anything that they think is necessary, for whatever purpose or goal that might be. We, well, the military-industrial complex, the modern military-industrial complex has been doing this for a long-ass time. And we learn from the masters. We learn from Mother Russia. We learn from China. We learn from the Umayyad and Abbasid, yes, the Shiite and Sunni, thousands of years of war. We learn from the masters, and we have perfected it. And so it has been hijacked. And we are no longer in control of that. Cooler heads have not prevailed. These guys are running willy-nilly, doing what they wish. And what they wish is not good. I am by no means black pilling or red pilling, and definitely not blue pilling or rainbow pilling for that matter. This is all a means to an end for them. And I think it's very important to see the web that they spin, and a lot of that is used with confusion. A confused enemy, it's easier to take advantage of. Anyone that knows, been doing any kind of gaming, if you're going head to head with someone. You look at their attributes, and say that guy's got more hit points. Okay, well, my armor has more hit points, so I can defend against his hit points. Okay, well, he's got more speed than me. Okay, I need to be on guard with that. But okay, we go at it. So the chances are, that maybe he's going to win because he's a bigger, better, stronger person than me. I have to use more cunning and deception. To take him out. And I could use confusion, misdirection. If I make myself invisible, then I can strike at will. The ambush is the confusion. If I pop smoke, and now we're all encased, engulfed in a cloud of smoke, yet I have nods, or I have thermals. So now I can see the adversary, and he can't see me unless he has that capability. So they don't realize that we have the same capabilities. We have the same mental capacities, the same thought processes that they do. We see this. We know what's going on. Been watching it for a long, long time. So, but there is at least 20, 30% of the people, especially in this country, that don't know, that believe only what they're told. And if challenged on it, they will, boom, just go right to the narrative that this is a threat to our democracy. Right. Yeah, right. Toe the party line. Toe the party line. Because that's what they're supposed to do. That's what they've been told to do. We've talked about this and ad nauseum about the population and percentage of people that go along to get along, and but there's always that 20%, that says no, fuck that bullshit. No, that's bullshit. And of course, there's 10% that says fuck you, I'm out of here. But anyway, you can do the math on who goes along to get along and who does what they're told. Anywhere, anytime. You still see folks that are wearing their face diapers and wonder why. So I'm going to be watching this now. Now that I know the misdirection. I know what they're doing. Now it's just a waiting game to see how they're going to spin this and how they're going to use it to their advantage. which, looking at the past, tells me it's probably not going to be good for our constitutional republic, but it's probably going to be really good for their democracy. See, they have taken it, and now they have made it theirs, and so now it has to be made, shaped, and molded in their design and perverted, and so yeah, the struggle is real, right? But even everything that they do is all for naught. So that's something that I know. That's something that we should all know, that everything they do is all for naught. Their ill gains and dealings in the shadows. The end result is not going to be what they think it is, which is total power, control, and subjugation of the human race. It's never going to happen, ever. Like I said, they've done this many, many times in the past, and each time it's failed. Yeah, it sucks, and they've had a long run. 100 years of communism under Lenin and Stalin and the Bolsheviks and the Khmer, all that, and of course Mao Zedong, and that's all been an ongoing thing. But you see how it was brought about exactly the same way that we're watching it now in this country, and you see the end result, which is that usually it degrades and goes away into something totally. It turns into something totally different. The maturity, communism eventually dies, of a old age, because people just go, that's it, we're done. There's no perfect Karl Marx society. There is no Marxist utopia. There never will be, ever. I don't care how much that you try to how much that they try to subjugate and train our youth into believing their pack of lies, their bullshit. Just like the movie Battlefield Earth, those were born slaves that were doing what they told, yet still that were dumbed down and were told and were made to serve their masters, who were these massive 7-foot tall aliens, Klingon-like-ish aliens, that, oddly enough, they look like John Travolta and the lazy eye dude, but which was a terrible movie, absolutely terrible movie. But the dumb slave that they were literally revolted. They revolted after being dumbed down to the point where they could only make grunting sounds to each other to communicate. I mean, they went primitive, primate. They were turned into mindless primate slaves for many number of years. They still made a revolt and still managed to fight and to win, just through will and spirit alone. Mankind yearns to be free. That is our inheritance from our ancestors. Our ancestors were the same. They yearn to be free. It's something in our soul that says you must be free. Yet there's something else in our mind that says you must endure this tyranny. And a lot of that is programming. A lot of that is sense of sense of preservation, self-preservation, sense of structure, because we like that. We don't like being out alone into the forest with nothing but a knife. That's how you must survive. We don't like that. It's very harsh. Some people do. But that is where we come from. Wandering this wasteland, this dangerous planet, surviving and thriving. So, in closing, just, watch what happens. This ought to be interesting. And, it also might fail. So they might just abandon it altogether to be used at a later date. It's something in their bag of tricks, that they can pull out at any time. So, this has been Matt Shad, encouraging you all to continue to train, continue to prep, and continue to think. Because we all know it's a mad, mad world out there.